Well, my high school, I went to an arts high school, and so there wasn't really a cafeteria. There was a place where the food came out of.
Did you guys start singing in the middle of it and jumping up on the table?
People would be saying yes. I didn't. I was not doing those things. But yes, that was a thing that was happening at my high school. Not a joke. Totally sincerely.
Wow.
Yeah, that shit was going down at my high school regularly.
I had the classic upperclassman came over and told me I had to take his tray up.
What?
Yeah.
Like he was done with his food and you had to bust it for him?
Yeah, but he wasn't that big, but the kid he was with was big.
Huh. So you just had this big guy kind of,
I had a guy who was a little bit bigger than me telling me to take his tray up with a guy not a lot bigger, but big enough.
Yeah. Are you a freshman or a sophomore?
I was a sophomore.
You were already running back on the football team, right?
No. No, I think my voice had barely changed.
How dirty was this tray? Are you having to like balance stuff? Or
I didn't do it. I just said no. I was just like, all right, I'm in school.
How deep
so
were you?
How long can this ass kicking? I mean, is a teacher like, there's always a teacher within, I don't know, at least 30 yards away. So you just do like my little brother used to do when he tried to get me in trouble with my parents. If I'd slug him a couple times, he'd just go, ow! Quit it! He'd just make like a lot of noise. I just would have done that. So I just said, no, I'm not doing it. And then he caved. It's the first time I ever bluffed anybody. The other dude caved. And he goes, come on, man, I'm asking you to do it as a friend. Like, he switched it up.
He changed tactics.
And I was like, I don't know.
He tried to emotionally blackmail you.
Yeah. And then it worked out. And it was weird. I wasn't scared when it happened, but the second it was over, I was worried for the rest of the day that he was going to beat the shit out of me.
Oh, for the tray thing.
Yeah.
Then you got back to the letter and you found then you got back to your locker, you found the letter he wrote for you. It was really kind of heartfelt that he left right before
I found that he was
the...
just as attracted to me as I was to him. And that was my first gay experience.
Do you like bussing my tray? Check yes, no, maybe. The whole thing dumped glitter all over.
Yes.
How dirty did you have backup at your table though? You must have. You weren't sitting by yourself. This is sophomore year. You already had the Burr.
We were all
Burr
small.
buds.
No, we
the
were
Burr
all,
buds.
Yeah, we all had the same jackets on.
Yeah,
slick back hair.
Yeah, they all had pictures of hornets embroidered on the back.
Yeah, there it was. It was what it was. I didn't always win. I remember one time there was one of those guys just like he was just a man-child by 8th grade. I mean, he looked like an ape. But he stopped growing. And by the time I was like a sophomore in high school, I was actually taller than him. But when I was in 6th grade and he was in 8th grade, like this dude looked like a fullback. Like he was probably like 5'6", which was gigantic for an 8th grader. And he was filled out. I think he went all the way through puberty. Like he was done. And I remember I walked by him and I had my stupid orange. My hair was like mostly only orange at that age. And I walked by, and he was talking to these pretty girls, and as I walked by, he grabbed the back of my head and just, didn't grab it, but just mushed his hand in my hair and just went, fire! Like that. And there was nothing I could do about it. And I fantasized about all of it, beating the shit out of all this shit to that kid probably for about a good 17 years. Maybe my early 30s, I finally let go of that.
It's so funny because in the spectrum of bullying that is so low, that is almost friendly, it's weird the things I remember I
had other ones, like literally physical ones, just getting the shit kicked out of you on the bus. That was always fun. I remember this dude just started punching me. He was trying to explain this punch that he loved to do to people. He was using me as an example.
This guy was such a bully that he had methods of punches.
He liked punching in the side of the head and then catching like the top of your ear.
You were essentially like the guy in a women's self-defense class, only without the suit.
I just remembered all I was saying was he'd hit me and I just kept saying that didn't hurt. And it totally did. Every time it fucking hurt.
I like the idea of
I haven't even thought of this. I hadn't thought of that in like 30 years, man. It's hilarious.